This message comes from Capital One. The Capital One Venture X Business Card has no preset spending limit, so the card's purchasing power can adapt to meet business needs. Plus, the card earns unlimited double miles on every purchase, so the more a business spends, the more miles earned. And when traveling, the Venture X Business Card grants access to over 1,000 airport lounges. The Venture X Business Card. What's in your wallet? Terms and conditions apply. Find out more at CapitalOne.com/VentureXBusiness.
Welcome to Carpe Dime, a podcast about personal finance and everyday life. I'm Jamie Davidson.
And I'm Nicole Jackson from Financial Center. Thanks for spending your free time listening to us talk about how life and family affects us achieving our financial goals.
Today we're going to dive into the ins and outs of selling a home. This is one of the biggest financial decisions that most of us will make in our lifetime.
That's right. We're going to break down the costs and considerations involved when you sell your house and share tips to help you prepare for the major milestone. Actually, Jamie, I'm going to break the script here, but I couldn't be more excited about this topic because I really want to look into selling my house. It's time to look into getting a bigger place. We are kind of at max.
Oh.
And I don't have any idea how to even start the process.
You've never sold a home before, have you?
I know.
Did you buy your first house, or was it given to you?
I bought it.
Remember how stressful that was?
Yeah.
Take that and multiply it by 10.
Oh, that's so reassuring. Thanks.
Oh, yeah. Well, I figure I'd just set you up.
You're always here for
You
me
know
like
what's
this.
great is if it's only 2 times harder and I told you 10, you're going to feel better in the end, right?
Great.
So because you're looking into doing this, hopefully you went out and got some stats, and we've got some things to talk about today that will help not only our listeners, but Nicole make her decision on whether or not she wants to sell her home and buy a new one. So what kind of stats you got for us?
Well, the first off, according to the National Association of Realtors, homeowners tend to stay in a house about 10 years before they sell.
How many years you been in yours?
About 12.
Yeah, it's how long we've been in ours right now, too.
It is
12, yeah.
time to get out.
So should you sell? Well, if you are going to sell, what are the reasons to sell? What are your reasons? Give me some reasons.
Well, right now it's definitely a seller's market, which means you can get more out of your house if you can sell it, right?
Right, yeah, and I think with the seller's market, I think you can sell it faster usually.
Right. So another reason that you might want to sell is if your current house is out of the budget.
Yep. Any other reasons?
Well, you could have outgrown your current home.
And you need a bigger one?
Bigger home.
Downsize, right?
Downsize, yes. Or maybe you have a really old home and it's costing too much to keep it maintained.
Yeah, repairs are not cheap.
No, about $2,000 a year, actually.
Yeah, wow.
All right, and maybe you have enough home equity.
Equity, that's where you have a value in your home, right? And you can take some money out of it, or you sell it, you're going to make a little money, right?
Right.
All right. So, Nicole, as we're looking down these lists here, some of these stats, some of these singing to you, saying maybe it's time to look at selling your home?
Yeah.
Okay, because we're going to go a little further in here. Right now, you're dipping your toe in the water there. I want to see where you're going to run like hell, or you're going to be like, yay, let's do this.
Oh, they're stressing me out already, though.
Well, you do have a tendency to stress a little bit. So, as we get started here, let's talk about some common costs when it comes to selling your house. The number one usually is your real estate commission. So when you go to sell your house, you're going to hire a real estate agent. And this is the person that's going to bring people over to see your house, and they're going to set the house up nice so it looks good, but they're going to charge you a fee for this.
How much are they going to charge?
They charge anywhere between 5, 6, some even 7%. So when you go out to look for that real estate agent, one of the first questions is, what is your commission? What's your commission base?
Okay.
And what that really means is once you sell your house, you're going to pay them off the top of that. So I sell my house for $400,000, and the commission was 5%. They get paid $20,000. Now remember, if somebody's coming to buy my house with their real estate agent, they're going to split that with the other one's real estate agent. So each one would get $10,000. So first one is real estate costs. So hey, if I have a $100,000 house, it's going to cost me $5,000, right?
Okay.
Or $6,000.
Well, I know another obvious common cost is your closing costs. And those, generally, everybody knows, or most people know, including your title insurance, settlement fees, escrow, property taxes. And do you know how much those generally are?
Yeah, 1 to 3%
Okay.
of the price of the loan. So if I'm getting a loan for $300,000, it's going to be 1 to 3% of that. This is one a lot of people get confused when they go to somebody to get a mortgage because those costs are estimated. They're called a fair estimate. Sometimes they're going to be a little bit higher, and that's where people get a little upset. So you've just got to realize it's an estimate. It's not the actual specific number. Okay?
Okay.
The next cost is the mortgage payoff. So, hey, I've got a house, I've got some equity in it. How much do I actually owe on the house? So if I'm selling the house, I'm going to use that $400,000 we started out with. Make it easy, because home values have gone up. If I had said $400,000 about 6 years ago, people would have been like, "What do you live in?" But now, home prices have gone up. So $400,000, and let's say I owe $200,000 on the house. So basically, that $200,000 is how much left I have to pay on that mortgage. So sell it for $400,000. Take that 5% off the top. There's 20. So now we're down to $380, right? I've got to pay off that $200,000 mortgage, and that's what I walk with after that.
Okay. What about any prepayment penalties?
Yeah, there are some mortgage companies that will do prepayments, penalties in their mortgage applications, but usually that doesn't tend to be the case very often anymore. So if you're going out to get a mortgage to buy your new house, make sure you're not signing one that's going to have a prepayment penalty. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know that the most obvious one to me is when it comes to moving costs.
Moving cost. Really, how much are those running?
I mean, I would imagine they would average, probably $900 to $2,600
Really?
for local moves?
For local moves?
Probably more for long distance.
For out of state? Yeah. Don't you have a friend with a truck? This is where all your truck friends come. They actually hide from you. When they learn you're moving, if you got a friend with a truck, all of a sudden they're not going to answer your calls. But yeah, get your friend with the truck, get some pizza, buy a couple cases of beer, call the guys over. It's time to move. But I guess if you
Girls can drive trucks too, Jamie.
Oh, that too. Oh, well, absolutely. I think it's a joint effort there. I don't care who drives as long as my stuff's getting moved, okay?
Okay.
That being said, I'm a little bit older than you right now, and I'm going, for me, maybe I don't want the backache. Maybe I want to pay the mover. I can tell you the first time we moved, we had so many of our friends show up with their trucks, but it was really nice that they did that. Wife was pregnant at the time, so they helped out a lot. Now, if we moved, I think we'd probably hire a mover, box everything up, and have them move them forward. It comes down to what you can't afford at the time of your life.
How would you budget for some of those costs, though, now?
Well, if you've got that equity in your home and you're going to pay off your other mortgage, you can use some of those funds for that and say, okay, I'm going to call around and find out how much movers cost, and then I'm going to decide if it's worth it, number one. Number two, if I decide it is worth it, I'm going to find other places to cut, hopefully in the budget, so that I can use the movers.
It seems kind of backwards to plan, though, to use your equity, because then you have to plan to pay off a mortgage, but then you want to use it to move. So it almost seems like you're digging a hole to fill a hole.
You're going to go get another mortgage, aren't you?
Yeah, but I think that's what scares me the most, is that I have to figure out how to get a mortgage while paying off a mortgage, and it's just like doubling the hole.
They're going to do a successive close. It's, like I said, 10 times more difficult when you buy and sell.
Okay.
There are many financial pieces to consider, and some of these costs can be managed, and you're going to find ways around it. And you know what? If you can't pay for the mover, it's okay.
You're going to come move it for me.
I'll bring somebody to come move it for you. I won't do it, but I'll help by bringing the person.
Okay.
All right, so we talked about common costs. Now let's talk about some optional costs out there. First on my list are home improvements and repairs. And when it comes to this, you want to look at them and go, are these a necessary or are these a cosmetic?
It's like a want versus a need almost, right?
Right. And it's also, when you think about it, it is a want versus need, but also is it going to help you get more money when you sell the house? Correct?
Right. Yeah. Another way to look at it is to consult the real estate agent first to find out how unnecessary or necessary that repair might actually be.
This true story, we've talked about it before. Windows, right?
Yes.
My next door neighbor is a real estate agent.
Oh.
You know what she tells us about the windows?
That your window's perfect.
She says, "Don't pay for the windows. You're never gonna get the money out of them that you put into them."
Right.
When you go to sell the house. And I'm going, but if I've lived here for 12 years now and my electric bill keeps going up every winter, well, I mean, yeah, if you're going to stay in the house. So really it's about that, right? If you're going to sell the house, maybe you shouldn't do the windows unless they ask you to. But, there's some things she's like, don't do this or don't do that because you're not going to get it back on return. So it's a good idea to actually reach out to your real estate agent. Good decision. Good one there. Another one, believe it or not, when it comes to improvements versus repairs, is going to be what type of mortgage the buyer is using. If they're getting a VA loan or an FHA loan, there are actually standards that have to be followed for them to receive that loan. So make sure you ask that question when somebody says, hey, I want to buy your house. Are you getting a conventional, an FHA, or a VA? Because if they're VA or FHA, there are going to be certain things that must be done to that house. So make sure you're aware of that. And as we're looking at all this, it's just so much to unravel. Right?
Yeah, it's actually really overwhelming right now. I'm just trying to think. I wouldn't ever imagine that I needed to know what kind of loan someone was going to use to pay it off, because that shouldn't be my problem, is what I'm thinking. Like, I don't care how you're paying for it as long as you pay for it.
Well, I mean, yeah, it would be nice, but we live in a different time now where where did that cash come from, right? We work in the banking industry.
That's true too.
Where did all that cash come from? So you need to know that, right? What else we've got to think about?
The home staging and curb appeal.
Well, curb appeal is so important, right?
I mean, the way things look is always important.
Always.
Right. I mean, it can make a big impact. How you decided to paint your house when you moved in. That blue that you love looked great to you.
To you. Not anymore, right?
Right.
I think of the shag carpet they had back in the 70s, like the goldish yellow that was just so disgusting. Obviously, if you still have that shag yellow carpet, you might want to pull that up and do something with it.
My mom still has some of that lovely green carpet in my old bedroom, and I think she was actually just talking about getting that replaced. I don't know that it's for her to move necessarily, but she's realized that it's time to give it up.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is when you're talking about staging or curb appeal, it's going to cost you money to have the stage. I know people that totally have their house decluttered, and they bring in furniture that they rent, and that. So it's really about how deep you want to go with that. Is it just, hey, I need to declutter and have somebody come in and do a real deep clean, or is it, hey, I'm going to hire somebody to come in and do it all?
Well, yeah, because those curb appeal projects can be everything from your landscaping to painting your house to the feng shui of how your furniture is all laid out inside.
Yeah.
If it doesn't flow, that can be a big turnoff.
Yeah, and most of us nowadays, you've talked about you might want to buy a new house, so you've probably been scrolling around online a little bit, right?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, and you go, and if the first picture you see of it, you don't like it, what do? Go on to the next one.
Right.
It's the same way with your curb appeal.
Or you're looking at a picture saying, I can't believe they posted that picture of the inside of their house. Why would you let them post that?
Yeah. They're not friends with you because you would have told them, right?
I probably would have, and they would have loved me for it.
Oh, well, I would have told them, but they wouldn't have loved me. All right, so we got the staging curb appeal cost, and now also a pre-listing inspection cost. So this is really, when a buyer comes in, they're going to come in with an inspection. But what you might want to do before that is actually get your own inspection to know the things that need to be fixed so that you already have an idea in your head how much that's going to cost. Because it's a lot better to have planned for it and be ready and know that it's in the budget than wait until this person comes and goes, oh, I want to buy your house. And by the way, you need to put $30,000 to fix it.
How much does something like that cost?
$300 to $500 usually for inspections.
Okay.
It's not a lot of money. And what they'll do is you can proactively find those issues and fix them, as opposed to waiting and then you get down to the last minute when you're buying that house. There's that back and forth juxtaposing where who's going to do what and when. And so if you do this, is a good way to go. These costs are important, but they're not all mandatory, right? That's where you got to figure out what's important and what's not. One of the things I recommend, hey, if you're going to sell your house, purchase a home warranty that you're going to transfer when it does sell, because you can use that home warranty to fix some of those items, especially if it comes to plumbing, electrical issues, dishwasher, refrigerator, furnace. Get one of those home warranties, and that'll help take care of that. Do you have a home warranty on your house?
No, you always tell me I should get a home warranty, and then I try to look up home warranty, and then I get overwhelmed with the home warranty, and then I don't get a home warranty, and here we are talking about how good of an idea a home warranty would be, and I'm like, oh yeah, Jamie told me that before.
I must sell home warranties for a living. All right, let's talk about it. So we're talking about all these costs, and we're getting Nicole overwhelmed.
Yes, you are overwhelming.
So if
Jamie.
Nicole's being overwhelmed, that means somebody else might be getting overwhelmed. So let's talk about how we're going to reduce some of these costs when it comes to selling our house. Got any ideas?
Can I just sell it as is? Then, if I do that, right, there'd be no repairs.
Right.
And I guess, though, the downfall for that would be that maybe people wouldn't want to buy it.
Yeah, I mean, some buyers wouldn't be willing to look at it. But then again, there's always those ones looking for a deal. So maybe for them, there are people that are going to go out there and say, I want to buy it as
Your
is.
DIYers.
Yeah. The other one is for sale by owner, because you don't want to pay that 5 or 6% commission cost. You don't have to pay the agent's commission. You don't have to do that. Now, I will tell you this. A lot of people that do for sale by owner, you're still probably going to have the paperwork done by a real estate agent. That's going to cost you a lot less. Okay? But remember now, that means you're setting everything up for people to come look at the house. You're doing all that. When you're paying that real estate commission, they're taking care of all that.
They're taking care of, like, your staging and setting appointments. And I guess that might almost make it worth it in the end.
Yeah.
Another option would be maybe doing a discount service,
Yep.
which would get you at that low commission or a flat fee?
Yeah, so instead of paying 6%, maybe the answer is we're going to pay 3%. But a lot of times the question becomes, if the person I'm using is only getting 3% for me, but they've got another person that's paying them 6%, who are they going to work harder for?
Oh, that's true.
So you got to be wary of that.
And do you have any other ideas?
Yeah, there's one more. I've been seeing these a lot lately because property values have gone up so high. People that are just sending you offers to buy your house sight unseen because they're buying property. It's become a new investment tool that companies are using. So, hey, you might get one of those emails. You might come through the United States Postal Service saying, hey, we want to buy your house. So maybe you'll get one of those. Now, obviously, the answer is you're probably going to not get as much for it, but the work you're going to have to put into it might be worth the cost.
That's true. So I guess what you're saying is it's all about finding out what is going to work for the situation that you're in.
Right. There are some people that don't want to deal with the stress and they're going to pay whatever has to be paid to get it. And there are other people that don't want to pay for it, so they're going to do it all themselves. And then there's the others that aren't going to pay and aren't going to do it, so just come get it as is and let me walk away from it. Anything else? Any other costs you've learned of today?
Well, are there any tax implications? Because I feel like taxes are a pain already.
Yep, one is going to be property taxes. So when you're out purchasing a new home, look at what the property taxes are going to be. When you're selling yours, they're also going to be prorated. You're going to have to pay your taxes. They're going to be paid in arrears. So make sure they will be prorated. They're going to be part of your closing costs, all right? We're in Indiana. Indiana, believe it or not, property taxes are pretty low. Some states, property taxes are extremely high. East Coast property taxes are very high. West Coast property taxes are very high. So think about that when you're selling your home, but also buying a home. Can you afford the property taxes?
What about transfer taxes? Are those the same across states?
They vary by state, and it's transferring of that property. Some states will charge you for you selling your house.
What?
Yeah.
That's not fair.
Well, it's just the way it is, which actually takes us to the next one. There's capital gains taxes out there. If you happen to be one of the people in the area that you have to pay capital gains taxes on your property, you're looking at a home selling in the over multi-millions of dollars that you're going to be taxed for. The majority of Americans don't have that issue, but some do. So I know I don't have a capital gains issue if I sell my house. Do you?
I don't know that I would, no. I don't think so.
Are you going to make a considerable profit?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. Did you buy your house for $100,000, selling it for $1 million?
No.
So you probably won't have to pay that. Okay.
Probably not.
Probably not. All right, let's go back over some of our key takeaways today. Remember, we're talking about different costs at first when it comes to selling your house. And you got your common costs, which your common costs are your real estate commission plus your closing costs. Your closing costs you're going to pay to the lender. The real estate you're going to pay to the real estate agent. Real estate agent's going to run you probably 5 or 6%. Your closing costs are going to run you about 1 to 3% of whatever the loan is. So make sure you have these. Don't be surprised when this happens.
Then you have your optional costs, your home improvements, your staging, your repairs that you want to make sure that you're planning for so that you can spend strategically. You want to make sure that you go out and talk to those professionals and get their professional opinions. So your friends that are the real estate agents, your friends that are the DIYers, and get them to help you before you're committing to any of those big improvements on your own and spending more out of your budget.
Yep. And so now it's time to sell. So you're going to make some decision strategies to save money. Am I going to pay the best real estate agent the highest commission, or am I going to sell it as is? Or am I going to do the for sale by owner? There's companies that are just buying up houses right now. So depending on what your stress level is and what you want to accomplish, those are options as well.
My stress level is high,
Well,
Jamie.
not your stress level, Nicole.
The last takeaway is the taxes. Be aware of property and capital gain taxes when you calculate what your net proceeds will be.
Yeah, because that's really a big part of it. Property taxes have gone up because the value of homes have gone up. And we've seen a lot of people say they can't afford their taxes. So make sure when you are purchasing a new home, make sure you're aware of what those property taxes are. Remember, as we've talked about, selling this home can feel overwhelming.
It is overwhelming.
I mean, you're looking overwhelmed right now.
I am overwhelmed.
But with the right planning and the knowledge, which hopefully we've given to you today, you can maximize your profit and minimize your surprises. Carpe Dime is presented by Financial Center First Credit Union. It's produced by Jamie Davidson, Nicole Jackson, and Garrett Rude.
Financial Center is an 8-time national award winner in adult financial literacy, and our goal is to what, Jamie?
To help you improve your financial life. To learn more, visit fcfcu.com.
Like what you hear, subscribe to us on Google, iTunes, SoundCloud, the All Indiana Podcast Network, and Spotify.